welcome to part 2 of the angle mods install video. I have everything laid out right here, so I'll go over it quickly. I know install videos aren't the greatest. This is the lollipop bushing. The hole should point towards the stick, aka the outer point of the car, so it actually pushes the knuckle more to the front. That'll give you more caster. Caster is the point of your strut tops towards the knuckle. Whenever it is angled more like this, it will give you more caster, which then translates to better self-steer. First thing I'll do is grease up the hole, grease up the lower control arm, try to attach the lollipop to the lower control arm, and then I'll go ahead and install the lower control arm to the subframe of the car, attach the anti-roll bar, and then attach the knuckle to the coilover, install the brakes again, install the tie rod end, and whenever there is anything like useful for you guys or any tips or tricks or anything in general, I'll just come towards the tripod and tell you guys about it. Right, so I'm going to be greasing up the lower control arm, as I will grease up the lollipop bushing as well. So I'm going to take the Strong Flex bag. This is like grease that came with the bushing, so that's always a good thing. I don't have grease myself. That's why I'm struggling a lot as well. I don't have the right tools for many of these things, so don't mind me being a little noobski.
You wanna taste a little bit of the grease, my friend? Do you?
No!
Puto.
Come on, dog. He's really interested in it. Shit. Let's try it and push it on. Stop helping. I'll have to put my dog away. Alright, I appreciate my dog's help, but I don't want to get him sick, so I'll put him away for now. Okay, I remember this being a little bit easier last time, but I'm going to wiggle. Okay, seems like it's going in. It'll just take some time. Okay, I think that should be enough. Okay, so the way that I prefer to do this is you take one bolt from the lollipop bushing, you put it in place. There we go. So that the lollipop is almost in place. Then you try to find a way to put the ball joint into the 22 hole. There we go. And then try to wiggle it in as high as it can go. There we go. I take my shoe, these have a hardened top. I kick it in, it's in right now. I'll thread on the nut on top. There we go. And then the lollipop bushing is pressed on correctly. So I'll go ahead, take my 17 and tighten the lollipop. There we go. I haven't tightened it to the torque spec because I don't know those. I'll have to look those up. Okay, so right now I'll loosen the nut of the anti-roll bar, push it through, and there we go. And then put the nut back on. There we go. Right, the next thing I'll do is take a jack and jack up the ball joint right here from the 22. Because when I'll go ahead and tighten it, just like last video, with loosening, it spins on itself. So I'll take my jack right here. That's good. 22. Take a 22 wrench. And this is the shitty part. It's not that easy to reach. On the passenger side, it is much better than the driver's side. Nice! Drop me one. Right, it's actually hard to tighten it right now with the 22 alone, so I'm going to be using the same trick as I did in last video. I'm going to apply the 16 to it, so I have a bigger lever to pull on it. If you're doing this job, have a look at the 22 ratcheting wrenches, because right now you have to put it in turn a bit, take it out, turn it a bit more. It takes ages. It's a locking nut, so it really takes ages. So have a look at the ratcheting wrenches if you're doing this. I'm going to tighten it right now with the 16 applied to the 22. I tried to tighten it as hard as I can. And there are torque specs for these bolts, but there's no way you can get a torque wrench in there. So the only thing that I'm going to be looking at with a torque wrench is probably the lollipop bushings. All the other things here will be so tight there's no space to fit a torque wrench. So, alright, on to the next part. Alright, since I can't really loosen the tie rod nut right here, because there's like nothing to hold it to and I don't have the right tools for it, I'm going to install the knuckle, then install the tie rod end as well, and I'll be able to loosen it then, because then it will be held in sturdy by the knuckle itself. So that's the next part. Since the guy that made these spray painted everything, I will be sanding down this little knob right here because it fits into the coilover, and whenever the paint is still on there it's pretty rough and it doesn't enter, so I'll scuff this up a bit. And the same thing counts for the hole right here. There is something that has to go in there. I have no idea what it is. I think it has something to do with ABS. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that, but I'll also sand this down so it enters easily. Take off the nut on the lower control arm. Put the knuckle on top. There we go. Put the nut back on it. It's hard, everything spins around whenever the tie rod is not connected, so I'll tighten these down when the tie rod is connected. Since the 22 is tight, I can actually take away this jack. Totally forgot. I can give myself a little more space, or less, depending where you put the jack, of course. Tighten it. Okay, I'm connecting the tie rod end right now, and hopefully I'll be able to loosen it. The tie rod end. And there we go. The tie rod end nut is loose. I'll need to apply the vices again. And there we go. Okay, so I'm going to be measuring and apply the same amount of adjustment that I did on the other sides. Alright, so it is around 5.9 centimeters, maybe closer to 5.8 than to 6. So I'll be adjusting it right now. Well, I measured it on the bottom, so it doesn't really matter, but I have 5.3. So it should go 5 millimeters plus, and you can actually see it right now. I'll try to get out of this position. Okay, so you can actually see, I'm not sure if you can pick this up, but try to move it. You can actually see that it is stowed in right now. So I will have like a visual reference whenever I turn it out. Yeah, it'll probably be good. So 2 turns should be doing it for me. Since I have modded knuckles and only plus 25 lower control arms, it's actually okay to still use the tie rod ends. That's something that I was worried about like in the beginning, because there's a lot of people telling you need to go to E90 ones. But I'll try to show you guys why you shouldn't worry if you're only going E46 or plus 22 E36 ones. Okay, try to show this. So the tie rod end, the inner one, comes to right here around 10 centimeters. So as it is right now, I still have around at least 3.5 centimeters tie rod end in it, so it's like kind of like this still in it. I have to check how good the alignment is. I might need to pull them out a little bit further, so then of course you'll go towards the 3 centimeter, maybe 2.5. I'm not sure what the safe point is. Maybe 2 centimeters of tie rod end still threaded in. That's not like my business, or I don't have any idea how much is the safe number. But I think it's only like 2 turns out, so it's probably just like half a centimeter less of thread in there. So I think it's perfectly fine. I'll try to connect it now and have a look how it looks. I think that'll work. So visually, as I did the comparison, if you have a look right now, I'm not sure how good the camera can pick this up, but it was quite towed in at the beginning, and might still be a little bit towed in, but I'll take a look afterwards after it's installed. It's tight. It's not tightened to the max, because if I still have to like turn it out a couple turns, I can loosen it easier. So yeah, that's basically the knuckle installed. So I'm going to go ahead and install the rotor on it right now, and then I'll go ahead and put on the brake bracket, the caliper bracket, and bolt everything back up. There is probably an easy way to do this, but I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm like trying to press this one in. That's why I sanded it down and also used my file on the hole itself. Alright, so that piece is on there, so onto the brake caliper now. Alright, so everything is assembled right now. I still need to tighten the lollipop bushings. I still need to tighten the tie rod end. So I'm going to go over that real quickly. I'm not sure what the torque specs are, but since you cannot like have any torque wrench in here anyway, I'm going to like apply as much force as I can and hope that it will be good. I'll do bolt checks regularly after like this install, because whenever you install new pieces, things tend to come loose much faster. So I'll go over this quickly. Nothing will change because everything is now hooked up. I'll just make sure that everything is tightened. Put my center ring on the hub, and I'll put my wheel on and have a look at how much angle we have now. Firstly, I'll have to look what the alignment is like as well, so that's something that I'll do as well. It's time to put the wheel on. I'm going to turn the steering wheel and put my wheel on and have a look at what the alignment is. Okay, before I put the wheel on, I might look at some cardboard to put under the wheel if I have to adjust the tie rod, that there's not as much as tension on the ground, like between the wheel and the ground. So I'm going to look for some cardboard. Be right back. So that's angle kit installed. I'm going to look at what the toe is at right now, and I'll adjust it to where I want it. I will continue the video and show you guys the final product, how much angle I have. I will probably, as I said before, still be hitting the frame rail, so I might try and put on the style 66. Those have like a 15mm plus offset. Alright, the car is on the ground, tightened everything up. I'm going to measure the toe now, so I'll put you guys down here. 173.4. In front I have 173.9, which means half a centimeter toe out.
Mr. Fluffy, why you no help me every time I work on me car? You always come here licking me. What are you doing?
Okay, so this should translate to 0.196 inches, so yeah, about 0.2, which is a fifth, I guess. I don't know how you guys say it, but whenever you measure like this, you're only measuring from the one wheel to the other wheel, so they might be crooked like this, they might be crooked like that. There's not really a reference point for center. So whenever you work on suspension, it is always a good idea to have a professional look at it on an alignment bench. So I changed stuff in the front, I also changed things in the rear, so I will have to align the car. The issue is I do not have plates anymore. The car is not road legal. You might think that the car is pretty stock, and it actually is, but in Belgium there are strict laws about like not having polyurethane bushes, whatever. There are a lot of reasons why this car shouldn't be on the street. So, well, not from my perspective, but from the government's perspective. So it makes things a lot harder to go to somebody or to like drive to a garage or drive to somebody that knows how to align it. So I will probably have to align it myself, like with the strings running down the car and stuff. I'll have a look at that. But it's time for the final product. I'm going to turn the car left full lock and right full lock and have you guys see it. If it doesn't turn out to be what I think it is, I might put on the Style 66s. They have a little bit more offset. So right now I'm hitting the frame rail with the inside, like the rear inner side of the tire. Yeah, I think this definitely increased the lock. I'll have a look after turning the steering wheel again if the toe changed any, because I'm not like sure how to adjust the toe. Well, I know how to do it, but I'm not sure if I set it correctly, like if it's tight enough. Alright, so that was the angle kit installed. I might try the Style 66 wheels on there, because now I'm pretty sure that I am limited by my wheel hitting the frame rail, so I'm going to try and put the 66s on. Alright, got the Style 66s on there. Going to light it up. As you can see, this fitment is crazy. I hope I don't slam my arches. If I do, I'll put the coilovers up a little bit. I have all these f***ing wheels here. Oh, no. Okay. That's this side. I'm like surprised how good it looks. It's like perfect. I didn't even try like to get the wheels for this fitment, but it's alright. Okay, I'm going to try to show you guys how much angle I have now. Left. Alright, so with my nice little luck, I'm not sure if you heard it in the last clip, but I heard something break. I'll show you guys. I just wanted to show you how much angle I had, and now the knuckle broke. Hey! So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye. We are the next day. I had some time to think about things and have a look at the car, see what actually happened. And I also have this video where I can go over. So the first thing is, my belt just makes a lot of crazy noises. I'll try to fix that whenever I can. Last time I checked the belt, it looked okay. So I'm not sure if it's the belt or anything else, but I'll have a look at that. The second thing is, after installing the angle kit, I never actually went over the height of the car, so the coilovers stayed where they were. And even after installing these wheels, the Style 66s, who have more offset, like towards the outer side of the fender, the probability of the tire catching the fender is a lot greater. And since I didn't raise the car with the angle mods installed, it probably wasn't the best idea. You can actually see it whenever I drive back. You can see the car lifting itself, and it makes a lot of noise. This is normal. This noise is just because of the welded diff. But as I come back, I turn left. I think this is full lock. I'm not sure why it gets stuck. Maybe I tried to wedge the tire against the frame rail, but here you can see that the body actually lifts. And then there's a lot of strange noises, so I think my tires are hitting the fender. And then the big moment right here, as I put myself into this shitty situation, I actually kind of create a benchmark for how strong the knuckles are. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do this, but there's not a single OEM knuckle that would break from this. Imagine me being parked somewhere and I hit something, or somebody else hits me. If a knuckle breaks this easily, I don't know, man. This could have happened anywhere else, and if I was driving around 60 or whatever, this could have ended a lot worse. So I'm happy this happened in the driveway and not even on a drift event, because I would have paid for today, and yeah, I would have sat there with a broken knuckle. So yeah, I already ordered myself a new set from Holland. I showed the people this video, and they told me that never happened to them. So I will probably create a third part of the angle kit install. It will probably not be as long as these are, because it's just the same thing, but I hope the knuckles will be good and the welds will hold, and then we can finally go test them and drift a bit. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed my mess, and see you guys around next time.
Happy Christmas!